welcome back to Living Through It, a lifestyle podcast for teens by a teen, hosted by yours truly, Isabella. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today's episode is going to be what I wish I knew junior year before taking the SAT as a senior. But before I get into it, let me tell you guys how life has been treating me recently. So I know last episode I thought I was going to finish Queen of Tears by the next episode, but I actually finished it by this episode. Woo! It was so good. Did I cry? Yes. Did I cry a lot? Yes. Hashtag depressed. Also hashtag now there's a gap in my life because it was literally so good. And there's nothing more to watch. Like, I could watch the interviews and stuff, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? So, kind of sad about that, and probably won't watch another K-drama. Actually, no, I take that back. Usually when I find a really good K-drama and I finish it, I can't find another good K-drama to watch. But there's this other one, I'm not sure what it's called. It's like something next door, but it's like currently updating, but I'm going to start watching it anyway because it looks so good. Like, I've seen clips on TikTok. It's just, I'm excited for that one. But yeah, so I finished Queen of Tears. And then I watched Notebook yesterday for the first time. And my friends were always like, Bella, like, you should watch it. Like, I feel like you would really love it. And they were right. I absolutely loved it. It was so cute. It was so good. For a moment there at the end, I thought he was the other guy, and I was like, what is going on right now? But no, I literally just wasn't paying attention because it was him. And if you don't know what I mean, good. Go watch it. Did I cry? No. Everyone's always like bawling apparently, saying that the Notebook is really sad. And yes, it was sad, and the ending was super sweet, but like, I didn't cry. I don't know. Maybe I'm heartless or something. I mean, I cried for Queen of Tears. I don't know. It didn't really make me cry. It was like more happy than sad, I guess. And also, I'm so sorry for the noise in the background. Everyone in my house is awake and present right now, so there's nothing I can do about that. And I haven't gotten a mic yet, so bear with me until I get one, guys. But yeah, I watched The Notebook, and then I also want to start watching Suits. I've seen some like edits and like clips on TikTok, and low-key I think it'll be really good. But I'm really bad at like watching like American TV shows that have a whole bunch of seasons, so I don't know if I'll be able to stick with it. But we'll see. I might start it this week, I might not. It just depends on how busy I am. And honestly, I think I'm going to be very busy. So, oh well. And then also the Paralympics, like, I think they start this week? I don't know. I don't know when they start. Let me see. The Paralympics start date. They start on the 28th. Okay, so they start this Wednesday. I want to watch them. I feel like I'm going to really like them. Because it's like, no offense to the other athletes, but I feel like it's way more impressive to be an Olympic athlete when you're like physically disabled. So I can't wait to see that. Like, there's like people that play basketball like with wheelchairs, and that's literally insane. I can't wait to see that. Like, I'm so excited to see all the different sports. But yeah. And then also like the people that do track, like with either their like, prosthetic legs or like wheelchairs, like that's absolutely crazy. Like, you are so much better than me, and I'm like able-bodied, so they're super inspirational, and I can't wait to watch them and have my life be like, wow, anything is possible. You know what I mean? So yeah. And then that's it for watching. I will tell you guys when I start, because I actually will watch the Olympics. Like, I literally bought a Peacock subscription like this month just so I could watch the Olympics. So what can you do? But yeah, I mentioned last episode that I'm reading A Crane Among Wolves by Jane Her. And like I said, like it's a Korean historical fantasy drama book-ish vibes. And there's like romance as a side plot, but also like half-half. And it's so good. I'm almost done with it. Like, I'm literally, when I finish this episode, I'm finished like updating, like editing and like uploading it. I'm literally gonna finish reading that book. Even if I lose sleep, like, I need to finish it. I have like 50 pages left. And like, if that was like assigned homework reading, that would take forever. But this is not assigned, so I'm probably gonna finish that super quickly. And I can't wait to finish it. But yeah, it's so good, guys. Definitely read that. I'm in love. But yeah. And then I'm still listening to Die With A Smile by Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga. And I'm also getting back into like my worship music phase. Like, for a while, when was it? Sophomore? No, I think it was junior year. I went to National Catholic Youth Conference in CYC, and like I literally fell in love with worship music. Like, before, I didn't really like Christian music because it has like a different vibe. I don't know, but like I kind of like the vibe now. Like, I like the different vibe. Like, it feels cleaner. And so like I used to listen to it a lot right after I got back from that like 3-4 day retreat. But then I kind of stopped listening to it. But then I was like, you know what? Let me start listening to worship music again when I drive to school. And guys, it hits. In the morning, it hits. Like, I know it's like, oh, weird, like, Christian girl. No. Like, it's good. Like, even if you're not Christian, just give it a try. Like, it literally feels like, you know those TikToks where it's like they're just showing like pictures of like soap and like clean water and stuff, and it has that like specific sound and it's like cleaning your mind or something? That's what it feels like to me. And I hope that it will feel like that for you too. So like just try it out. But yeah. And then I'm still working on college apps and my personal essays. And I have the SAT in November. And then for events, I mentioned that I had the SAT yesterday. Was it rough? Yes. Do I have one more chance to prove myself? Yes. Will I take that chance and prove myself? I better. Like, I'm scared, but it's okay. Because I'm going to tell you guys what I wish I knew so you guys don't have to be scared like me. And I know this stuff now, so I should be prepared for my last one. But yeah. And then I'm looking forward to next weekend. I know I haven't even started the weekend. Like, I'm literally filming on Sunday. But I want it to be the next weekend already. I don't want to go to school, guys. Senior artist is crazy. Like, it's real. But yeah. And I get a 4-day weekend, which is super cool. So hopefully I'll take advantage of it and go on, like, some college trips. Just around the area. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then also, like, this week is Spirit Week for my school. So I'm looking forward to not wearing uniform, too. But yeah. Anyways, that's it with what I've been thinking about and like listening to and that kind of stuff. But now it's time to talk about the very daunting, very scary SAT. Here's what I wish I knew, because okay, well, first of all, let me tell you guys my experience with the SAT. So freshman year, my school does this, like everyone, well, actually they changed it now, but when I got there, everyone, including freshmen, unless you were a junior or senior, no, unless you were a senior, has to take the PSAT. And so I took the 8/9 PSAT freshman year. And then I took the PSAT 10 sophomore year. And then I think I took the PSAT 10, or is it just the regular PSAT? I don't know. The way they do it is weird. I don't really get it. But yeah, I took another PSAT junior year. And junior year was the year they changed it from paper to digital. So like I'm kind of ish among the first test subjects of the digital SAT. And like originally it was kind of easy, but like now it's getting harder and harder. Like each time I take the SAT, because oh yeah, let me finish telling that. Oops, kind of getting ahead of myself here. Sorry guys. But yeah, so then I took the PSAT junior year, and then at the end of junior year, literally the day after my last day of school for junior year, I took the actual SAT for the first time. And I didn't study for that. And you can tell my scores that I didn't really study for that. Then I was like, you know what? I'm going to study over the summer. I'm going to be like super good, and I'll take it again in August. And so I took it this August, and I didn't study as hard as I should have. Like, I only barely started studying in August for the August SAT, when in reality I should have been studying since June. But that's not going to happen for this November one, because I have one last one in November, and I have to do good on that, because guys, the SAT is actually expensive. Like, hello? Like, it's not as expensive as you would think it is, but low-key it is. I don't know. And then, fortunately, some people get their fee waived, but I don't qualify for the fee waiver, even though I still want it. You know what? It goes to the people who actually need it. But yeah, so I have to pay for it every single time. And it was rough. But I had a little crisis with, like, the SAT dates and stuff, but I managed to figure it out. But I did lose money on the way of figuring it out because of, like, the canceling and rescheduling and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that's where I currently am at the SAT. But what I wish I knew, because now that it's digital, like, it's way different than, like, the paper SAT. So if you have... Sorry, I'm like, let me just completely backtrack. Okay, so that's where I am with the SAT. Now let me tell you what I wish I knew. That's how I should say that. I'm sorry. But yeah, so, number one, I said I didn't study. Don't do that. Study, okay? There's so many free resources out there. Unfortunately, I started using those free resources late. But you know what? It's never not too late, because it's the top of the November one. But yeah, use them. Like Khan Academy, you can plug in your PSAT scores, and then it'll tell you, like, where you are. And then you can just study from there. And, like, there's different units. There's 13, but really only 12 math units. And then 11, but really only 10. 11? Yeah, 11, but really only 10 reading/writing, or, like, reading comprehension units. But, guys, those things take forever. Like, get on that ASAP because it takes literally like an hour for me to get through. Like there's little boxes and like some units will have like 6 boxes and like it's like color coded to tell you if it's like a lesson or a video or practice questions or like a mini quiz. It takes forever, guys. Like really get on that like as soon as possible. But and then there's also like other stuff like on TikTok. Like I see so many people now that I guess TikTok just knows I'm stressing over the SAT because it shows me so many like SAT help or SAT tips or SAT like practice questions on my For You page. And I watch not every single one of them, but I watch most of them or I'll save them to watch later because I need that. So, and then those people sometimes they offer like free courses or free resources, or I even saw one that they have like a Google Classroom with a whole bunch of free different like practice tests and resources. So take advantage of that, guys. Like look them up, like find them. I can't think of any on the top of my head because I've seen so many of them, but you could use that too. And there's so many other stuff online, but I just don't know any of the other ones, but I know there's a lot more. So we use those to study. But talking about studying, freshman year, everyone at my school had to buy this huge, and I mean huge, I'm looking at it right now because it's like behind the camera, like 5-inch thick book for studying for the SAT. That thing was gigantic. Like it's literally the size of my torso. I mean not really, but like basically. And it's kind of useless now. Want to know why? Because anything before the SAT turned digital, the reading stuff is different now. Like the math kind of stayed the same, but the reading is different, and I'll tell you what I mean. So when you took the SAT, the paper version, the way that the questions would be is that there will be some where you have a super long passage, I mean not that long, but pretty long, like 5 paragraphs maybe, and then you would have a couple questions attached to that passage. And then there will also be some where it's just a tiny little passage, and there would just be like one question for that one passage, or it would be like a sentence and you fill in the word. Those fill in the word ones stayed, and the like short passages stayed, but the long passage ones where you have multiple questions for one passage, they're gone. Okay, that is no longer a thing for the digital SAT, and I really hope I'm not making that up and it's just in my memory, but I'm pretty sure it was there. Yeah, so any of like the reading stuff or reading practice questions that were before the SAT turned digital are kind of useless. I mean, some of them, like the fill in the word, fill in the blank, or like the grammar ones are basically the same, but like those reading, like comprehension, like text or passages ones, they're not. And then another thing that's new for the digital SAT that I didn't see on the paper SAT was that there's some where they'll give you like bullet points and it'll be like, a student took these notes about this certain topic, and it's like, the US is a country. The capital of the US is blah blah blah, blah is Washington D.C. It has 50 states. California is one of the biggest states in the US. Something like that. And then it'll be like this student wants to emphasize the biggest state in the US or something like that. And then it'll give you like 4 different options using the information about like from the bullet points, and you have to choose the one that best represents what the student is trying to like emphasize. That was not in the paper one, but it is in the digital one. And honestly, they're kind of easy. So like don't worry about that. It's new. Like so you won't see those on the paper SAT study materials, if you know what I mean. So what I'm trying to say here is use materials that are like updated and for the digital SAT. With that being said, when you register for the SAT, obviously number one, it costs money, okay? Like $65? I don't know. Hold on. Let me check. SAT price. $68. And I don't think they do tax. So it's like actually $68, I think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah. And when you like pay for it, like right before you press like submit, they'll be like add book to your order, and it's like a digital PSAT practice book. Don't buy that. Okay, there's so many free resources online. You don't have to buy anything, okay? With this new like world of like internet and media and all that kind of stuff, like you're good, okay? Do not buy stuff you don't need to buy. Save that money for actually paying for the test. You know what I mean? But yeah. So anyways, all that being said, study early, okay? Unfortunately, this does not work for anyone who's currently a senior like me, but if I were to restart my whole SAT process, I mean, I would keep the PSATs and stuff, but junior year, I would study like hardcore. Like at least if I start from the beginning of the year, like 15 minutes a day, I think would be fine. But like depending on when you start, maybe it'll be like 30 minutes a day, but definitely keep doing it like every single day without fail. I mean, you can rest on the weekends and stuff or not, like depending on how you work. But do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Practice, practice. Just take so many practice tests, so many practice questions. Just keep doing it until you get used to the formatting and all that kind of stuff. And you might even like recognize some questions or like tricks and tips and tricks. Yeah, that's the phrase. And all that kind of stuff. Just it's really important to practice. And then if I was a junior, I would take it spring of my junior year. I mean I kind of did that. June is kind of still in spring, I think. Or maybe not. But I should know that, but I don't. But yeah, but there's one before June that you could take as a junior. Yeah. So maybe try that one instead. But that unless you're taking APs, I think it's around the same time. Unless you work well under pressure, I don't know. But yeah, take it spring junior year. And then I heard that apparently, what was it? Apparently it's recommended to take like 4 to 6 tries. But I feel like that's a lot. I don't know. I mean, ironic coming from me who's taking 3, but I think 3 is like the magic number. Like 3 is the good shot. Apparently it's because colleges want to see that you like improve over time. And so that's why they want you to take like 3. And then like also if you don't do that well, like say for example, you get like in the 1000s or 1100s or something, like you can still like get a better score. So I guess they want you to like try again. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, that's weird, but just take it. I'd say 3 times. I'm taking it 3 times. Like my 3rd time will be in November, and after that I'm done. So that's why I really had to like go hardcore and like lock in for the November one. But take it. Yeah. And then talking about like colleges and like what they recommend and stuff, some colleges are no longer test optional. Okay, some colleges require you to submit your SAT scores. I'm pretty sure it's Ivy Leagues. I'm not sure. Let me look it up. I'm looking up a lot of things this episode. What colleges require SAT? Guys, it's a lot now. There's Ivies in this list. Or like T20 schools. So if you're planning to apply to colleges that are like more prestigious and up there, you're gonna have to take the SAT, okay? It's not optional anymore. I know there's some schools that are like test optional or even test blind, but even the test optional ones say that if you have a good score to send it in, which is basically just saying that they want you to do good, but if you don't do good, like don't put yourself out there. So they're giving you the chance to hide your bad score, but honestly, they kind of prefer to see that you do good on the SAT. Because remember, the SAT is basically a way for the colleges to see like how you are as a student, because they can't tell, like how are they going to know that your English honors class isn't just basically regular English but with the honors title? You know what I mean? Or how are they going to know that your like math honors class is actually teaching you what you need to teach? You know, because what if they're giving you super easy stuff and you get like cheat sheets all the time and you get like 100s just for participation and you get like an A even though it says honors? So while it looks good, like how do they know that it's actually a rigorous course? You know what I mean? So that's why they have the SAT, which I didn't know that. But now that I know it, it makes sense and why they require that test, as annoying as it is. So it's really important that you guys take the SAT. I know it sucks, and I know it's super stressful, and I know it costs money, but you have to take it now. Like if you want to go to a good school and you're going to apply to that good school, you're going to have to submit SAT scores and or ACT scores. I haven't taken the ACT. I haven't even taken a practice ACT. I'm kind of considering looking into it, but I don't think I'm going to. It depends, because I know that SAT is more common over here in the West Coast of the US, and like the ACT is more common on the East Coast of the US. But you're going to have to take one of those tests, and you're going to have to send in those scores for some of your schools on your list. So just come to terms that you are no longer free from the SAT. Honestly, I kind of saw this coming. I knew they were going to bring it back, but what can you do? if you want to go to that school, you're gonna have to do what they want you to. So, but yeah. Oh, another thing I wish I knew. Okay, so I kind of anticipated this, so I did good on my first one, but then my first time applying, but the second and third time I applied for the SAT, or not applied, registered for the SAT, I forgot about it, so I kind of suffered. But basically, testing centers get filled so quickly. So when you register for the SAT, you like put your demographic information, all that kind of stuff, and it asks for your address and your zip code so you can find testing centers around you. And then you select your date, and then you press find test centers around me, and it'll be 5 miles, 10 miles, 25 miles, 50 miles, or 100 miles away from me. And if it's a month before the SAT date, you best believe you will not find any testing centers around you. You'll get lucky if you find one in the 50 to 100 mile radius range, because people sign up for the SAT, guys. Everyone's taking it because y'all have to take it now. So it's going to be really hard. So if you're going to register for the SAT, register literally 3 months ahead. I'm being so for real right now. You have to register 3 months ahead before you take it, because you're not going to find testing centers that are around you. You're not going to get the date that you want. Maybe the date that you want, all the testing centers are full. That happened to me. I wanted to take the October one, but by the time I was applying to it, everything was taken. I even changed the zip code so that I could try to see if I could take it down below, lower where I am than where I live. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, somewhere where my relatives live, because they live 2 hours away from me. And those centers were taken too. Everywhere is taken. So register early. Early. Okay? Be on top of that. And then, yeah. And if you take it, my friends, I think they also took the SAT in August. They had to go far. And then because the SAT is in the morning, they had to wake up really early. Imagine having to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning to drive over to take your SAT. And then by the time you get there, you're already exhausted just because you had to wake up so early in the morning. Guys, no. Try not to do that. If you have no other choice, then do it. At least you're taking the SAT, but try to set yourself up for a more peaceful, calmer morning. My morning for the November is not going to be nice because it's 25 miles away from where I live. But you know what? It could be worse. It could be 100 miles away from where I live. But yeah, so register early. But yeah, what else did I say? Oh yeah, and I wish I knew, because it's kind of more stress-inducing now, that colleges really do require SAT scores again, and that they're getting back into requiring SAT scores and standardized testing scores. And yeah, and then also, I don't know why I didn't think about this, and I know I said it already, but I'm gonna say it again. I wish I knew that it cost money. Money. That's crazy money. I did not expect to pay that much for a test that is so commonly taken. I guess it makes sense, but now with it being digital, and this is another thing I don't understand. With it being digital, it doesn't cost that much anymore. I know copyright stuff and all that kind of stuff, and actually making the test, but you're not paying to make all that material, to print out all that material and mail out all that material and all that kind of stuff. So shouldn't it be cheaper? Maybe it is cheaper and I don't even know. I don't know. But then also when you take the digital SAT, you would think that when it's digital that you will get your answers quickly. But it takes 2 to 4 weeks to get your scores, not answers, to get your scores. And I don't know, maybe I'm not getting something here, but to me that seems like a lot. Because it's online and the answers are already there and everything's multiple choice. And except for the math, short answer, filling questions. But, even then, there's only one right way to put your answer. So, I don't know why it takes so long. I don't know. I know, obviously, it would have taken longer if it was the paper one. But it feels like a long time for me. But, yeah. Anyways, that's everything I wish I knew about the SAT. I hope that helps you guys, especially if you're a junior listening to this. I'm talking about that one specific junior who told me she listens to this podcast. So shout out to you, even though I'm not saying your name for your safety reasons, okay? But listen to me, okay? Do all of this stuff and you will be so confident and so calm and so prepared for the SAT, okay? Do not be stressed out like me. I learned the hard way, so you don't have to learn at all and you can just do it the easy way. Okay? Like, do not procrastinate at all. Coming from a procrastinator, don't do it, okay? That is my goal of the week. I didn't say this when I was like telling you guys my weekly like recaps and stuff, but my goal is to not procrastinate. Like I'm gonna start studying literally tomorrow. Today's my rest day because it's Sunday, but literally tomorrow, back on the SAT grind. I know I just took it on Saturday, but I have one in November, so I gotta get on that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyways, I really hope that was helpful for you guys. If I had listened to this at the beginning of junior year, I would have been super grateful. So I hope you guys are glad and happy that you heard this before. And hopefully, if you're a senior, I'm sorry, but we're stuck in the same boat. But yeah, wherever you guys are listening, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe, as well as follow the podcast on Instagram. It's at Living Through It Podcast. Yeah, that will be in the subtitles of the video if you're watching on YouTube, because this is a video podcast. But if you're not listening on YouTube, then you can find it on my show notes, and you could be listening either on Spotify, Apple Music, what's it called? Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. That's an inside joke for people who know what I'm talking about. But yeah. But make sure to come back next week for more high school advice from a high schooler in her last year of high school. My name is Isabella. This has been Living Through It. Love ya!